All right, so just a moment ago, I completed the first video of today with the clouds outside. Very interesting features. Again, looking like this might be more of an Earth spot and less of a typical thunderstorm. I'm not even sure this one will be a supercell, although there is a lot of what looks like vorticity. It could just be current flow too. Some of the electromagnetic principles allow for molecules as well as atoms and subatomic particles. These rules can govern individual molecules and groups of molecules that aren't like a solid object. So some of these water vapor structures in the sky could very well just be like, water ionizing along static electricity lines. It's like the ionization glow and the steam clouds inside of nuclear mushroom clouds, but on a much smaller scale as far as well, it might be more power in some ways, but these are the kind of thunderstorms that have the high altitude, low luminosity, energetic events associated with them. And it seems like there's some really cool power modulation and conditioning going on in the clouds that when they reach a certain type of magnetic complexity, much in the same way that sunspots do on the sun, we're watching it from the underside kind of thing. I wonder if on the sun's surface you reach a level below the sunspots where you could see the undersides of them and they would look like plasma thunderstorms or something, who knows. But these high altitude emissions with the sprites and blue jets, the sprites specifically seem to be associated with cloud to ground positive flash lightning, and it releases, it's somewhere in there's a brief existence of antimatter in the process of the power stepping before these releases out into space. And so then the sprites are kind of like the loop prominence beginnings of like where the flares will come up on the sun and they'll hold their position and then move around and then they'll go back down. It seems that those may be somewhat analogous. So the other purpose of recording this video is that it's probably going to start raining pretty hard on the glass pretty soon, and I was going to see if I couldn't capture that. Oh my gosh, failed on the cigarette. Humidity, messing that up. Let you see that. I don't think I've ever shown you all that angle of it. And if we can adjust darkness a little bit, get that view out the window. There we go. Now that's a little closer to what the natural light looks like in here. The majority of light being cast into the room that you were seeing on me was actually coming from these windows and not from any light source in the room. That's why my dad put these skylights in initially, was to have this kind of light in the afternoon, because otherwise, think about how dark this room would be with only the north-facing basement-style windows. But then ultimately, with the aging of the roof, the weight of these windows, here it comes. The weight of these windows is the reason I decided I needed to put these supports in, so that at no point would those cause the roof to fall, because before that can happen, this structure will hold it up and I will hear it crack very loudly. And that may give me enough time to do something about it. Hashtag tuxedo cat. Ja, Papa. It's okay, baby. Just a thunderstorm. And this is what I meant in the video from last night about when they get nervous about sounds from outside, they all just get within about 6 feet of me. The others are either asleep or safely hidden or snuggling each other, but there's definitely, that's a thing. And then sometimes I try and be mindful of the weather when deciding if I'm leaving for work, whether or not any of the cats should be on the porch or not, because it's not like they're going to be in physical danger, but if they're going to be traumatized by being out in the loud roar of rain on the roof, the drips coming in, and the thunder and lightning, with all the fireworks and everything, they're just kind of on edge for pretty much the entire period of until everyone runs out of things to make noise with. Once everyone's fireworks are exhausted, then hopefully the cats can begin to psychologically heal before next year. And so far, it's just been real gentle rain, nothing crazy. Hashtag Calico Torby. think that's enough of this for now. I've been thinking about stopping it every time I consider saying something and going for the stop button. The rain picks up slightly. Wind's picking up outside. I can see through the window that the trees are really starting to blow. I don't know how well it's really moving in the tree branches visible through the window here, but the ones just to the north of the house on the other side of the garage are moving pretty good.